Welcome back to the next episode of Cultivate OB's Growing the Good podcast. As you know, the format is raw and uncut. We're live here in San Diego, online community, highlighting the most positive and uplifting stories in OB. Make sure to go online to get the show notes, photos, videos of each episode online at cultivateob.com. You can go there and get the podcast delivered to your inbox through our newsletter, via email, and Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Stitcher, and iTunes. Go to cultivateob.com/subscribe and make sure to share it with your friends. So today is October 29th, 2014, and I'm here with Greg Cryns of 432 Crew. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. You came as a recommendation from our friend Laura, and she highly recommended that I talk to you, that you're doing great things with your instruments and your voice, and we'd love to hear all about it.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thank you, Laura. What's up? Man, yeah, you know, it's just it's a beautiful life. I wouldn't have it any other way. It's a really blessing just to be able to play music most days, you know, and yeah, like I said, man, it's a pleasure to be here, and you know, I just look forward to anything in the future, you know, just that concerns music, and yeah.
So we chatted a little bit right before hitting the record button here, and it sounds like you're right in the spirit of what we're looking to do here on Cultivate OB, the sort of stories we're telling. So let's start at the beginning a little bit, get your history so that people know where you're coming from. How did you get into music? What's your education? How'd you end up in San Diego?
Well, yeah, I'm from Chicago area originally. I grew up in a family of 9, so it's basically, we were like the Jackson 7.
Wow. All right.
So we were all musical. Yeah, I mean, my dad and mom both play the piano pretty well, and my mom was playing all the time. My dad was surprisingly well at piano. He never played, but once in a while he would hop on there and we would all run around. He had this song called The Running Song. It was this fast song that he used to play. It was pretty complex. We didn't know how or when he learned this song, but he was a pretty good musician, we found out. And so ever since then, I've just had music in my heart. My older brothers had a band called Juvenocracy, and later on they had a band called Spank in L.A., and they made the exodus out to Los Angeles about 10 or 15 years ago, and they linked up with Pauly Shore's manager, Dean, or Dino, and eventually started making some ripples out here on the West Coast. Nice. And from there, man, I just had my heart set on California and San Diego since I was about 13, 14 years old. And just, you know, I've had like ska bands, punk bands growing up.
Sure.
In high school, you know, I had this rock ska band, and just kind of been evolving through my evolution of music. And when I got out here, it was immersed in the reggae scene. Okay. So, and that's, you know, pretty much where I dove deeper and got my roots sunk in deeper in the reggae scene, was in San Diego, because it's so prevalent out here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so tell regarding the music, what's your musical influences? Like some of your favorite bands? I mean, you have a musical family, so yeah. I guess you're just kind of, you know, you've been surrounded by most of your life, it sounds like. But any particular musicians or bands, or I guess maybe just genres like ska that are your influences?
I mean, Honestly, I grew up on a lot of alternative music. The names that pop in my head right away are obviously like Jimi Hendrix, you know, Chili Peppers, Soundgarden. You know, grew up on Metallica and even like Pantera. You know, got some of that heavy metal in my blood too. Yeah, man, just you know, Sublime obviously was big for me back in the day. It kind of paved the way for a lot of these SoCal reggae bands.
Right.
So that you know, just hearing that deep bass in the drum and that, you know, that typical reggae, you know, punk beat that they play, you know, kind of swinging back. That caught my ear, you know, going from something fast, you know, the Sublime did it, the fast punk stuff, drop it into the slower reggae stuff. That really caught my ear because it was such like almost a contrast within one song. And, you know, I just love the way that bass dropped, and that really, you know, propelled my desire to play reggae music for sure, you know.
Awesome.
Yeah. It sounded good at the parties too, and the girls came around, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
That also
I mean, I guess, you know, Sublime wasn't afraid to create their own sound. It was, you know, I mean, everyone's trying to be unique, but they achieved it and sort of led the way.
Yeah, man. They just, you know, they just didn't really care. I felt like, you know, it was just kind of like an unapologetic kind of attitude they had, and I naturally gravitated towards that because I've always been a little bit, you know, off the path, I guess. You know, I kind of like to do things differently, but man, yeah, they definitely took it to a new level. You know, creating some old roots reggae songs and taking those songs and started creating those into their own style. Yeah. So that was cool, and they did it really well and very successfully. So yeah, they've always been in my blood for sure.
Awesome. Okay, so tell us how you got into as a full-time musician, pursuing music full-time. You went to school out in Chicago?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I actually, you know, I wouldn't consider myself full-time musician just yet, but it's definitely something that I want to be doing full-time.
You're pursuing it full-time,
yeah,
at least,
okay,
right?
I got you, yeah.
That's what I meant to say.
No, you got it. But yeah, no, I was very much into fitness and soccer. I was a big-time soccer player. I got a full ride to play at Northern Illinois University, and I played for a couple years there. And then, you know, I either got burnt out or just my love for music just kind of came pouring out of my pores, I guess you could say, and I just couldn't deny it anymore, and I had to pretty much make a decision at some point whether I was going to, you know, pursue or keep pursuing the fitness stuff and the soccer stuff, which I still love, you know. Soccer is a huge love of mine, and it will always be a huge piece of my soul and who I am. But, you know, I just realized that if I want to be serious about music, I had to act a little more seriously about it in the way I practice and rehearse, and just the way I conducted myself in the, you know, promotions and connections and networking and all that, and really just spending more time on it would, you know, allow me to get where I want to be. So at some point in time, I made that decision, and you know, it's been one of the best decisions I've made. And yeah, for sure.
Really glad to hear that you're pursuing your passion here. I mean, obviously soccer and fitness are still a passion, but knowing which is the priority, because it's so hard to, I mean, if you really want to accomplish it, you got to focus. Right?
Yeah.
Pick one.
You know what's funny though is, I heard something Bob Marley said too, because he was also a huge soccer player, huge soccer fan. And, you know, I always thought that I kind of had to choose between, or somehow they would be conflicting. But, you know, I started to read into more Bob Marley, and I realized that we had a lot in common, you know. I'm not going to say my writing style is profound or whatever as Bob Marley.
Sure.
You know, he's an idol, he's a prophet. But, you know, my love for soccer, my love for music are probably, you know, equivalent to the way he felt about both of them. And he said, someone asked him, you know, if he had to choose between the guitar and the soccer ball, what would you choose? And he said, you know, the soccer ball, which was like crazy for me, because I'm like, wow, he kind of was, you know, going through the same thing I was. But then I realized, you know, they're kind of complementary on each other, and they're not so much conflicting. So, you know, I started to embrace them both like that, and realized that they kind of both help each other out. You know, I lively up myself, play some soccer, it clears out my lungs, gets my mind working on a higher level, you know, feel a little more irie and just more connected to the universe, and that aids in my songwriting and just makes me feel better when I'm singing. Yeah.
It's really great to find synergy like that between your passions, and obviously everyone needs some form of exercise or something that pushes them to the limit physically.
Yeah.
Like you said, there's nothing like a strenuous workout to kind of cleanse your body and mind, which you pour into then, you have a clear mind that you can pour into your music.
Exactly, man.
So, so you're saying you can actually tell that it highlights or influences your music playing.
Absolutely, man. It's all tied in together, I think. And I know Bob Marley probably felt the same way. Just your mind, body, and spirit. They're all connected. So, just and just being around other people that have similar passions for me. So just being around a group of guys who love soccer. Just that connection, that like kind of, I guess you could say, camaraderie. I don't know if that's the right word, but that feels good too. Because I spend so much time sitting by myself in the garage, writing music, and so it's nice to be out there and really just on the soccer pitch too. Everybody is equal. There's no colors out there. If you have some players on your team, you love them all equal no matter what, because all the colors disappear as soon as you step on the field. So that's a very cool part of soccer, and it's pretty much rare in other parts of the, other things in the world. Sports are one thing that I think can like bring people together, just like music. So.
Yeah, it's really special to be able to, like you see, when you get on the soccer field, you set everything else aside and you focus on what's at hand, and it tears down those walls. Helps you meet new people or connect with these other people too, outside of your other interests in music and everything else.
Yeah.
Before we dive a little more into music, quickly tell us about your passion as a fitness coach. Like, what are you doing there exactly?
Sure. I have a master's degree in health and human performance, and it's a kinesiology, physiology type of degree. It's in the realm, and basically, I used my love for soccer to kind of begin my coaching career as a soccer coach and a teacher at the junior college level. And I did that for about 3 years. I got an internship at San Diego State University. I was training the football team and the soccer team, and strength and conditioning.
Nice, yeah.
And so, it was great. I did it for about 4 years when I first moved out to San Diego, and eventually it kind of fizzled off, kind of fell by the wayside because of my music. And, I started to tour a little bit with a couple bands from San Diego, and just started, all the rehearsals and all the weekend gigs and stuff. It was a little tough to keep my teaching and my coaching on the level that I wanted it to be at. So it kind of fell by the wayside naturally when the music started to take over. But now I kind of miss it a little bit. So I'm starting up my own website, my own fitness website called sdbeachfitness.com. And it's basically tying in together my love for music and fitness. It's beach-oriented workouts. It's oriented around.
This is great. These are the kind of things we really love to talk about here on the show. The interesting dynamic nature of living in San Diego. Yeah. So explain this to us. Yeah. What exactly are you trying to do here?
Like traditional workouts just got kind of boring for me. I got kind of tired of, going in the gym and just training people one-on-one. So I love to go to the beach, Sure. I love to work out. I love music. So I figured I'd connect all those into one, trifecta. And so my plan is, and this is just a baby, I just started the website, sdbeachfitness.com. So you go down the beach basically is what it is. And I got some music, sometimes live musicians. And but right now it's just a stereo. Get down there, and we do a lot of natural body workouts with the sand, and we do some stuff involving the water and music. So we basically, it's a type of workout where it's a circuit training type of thing where we go do a bunch of different exercises, get a full body workout with during one song, and when the song's over, boom, you take a rest.
Very cool.
You sit down in the sand, maybe make some sand angels, while you're resting, and just it gets a lot of different movements, and you'd be surprised the health benefits you get just by being by the ocean. The negative ions and all that.
Oh, man,
I don't know if you're into that, that nerdy stuff.
I was talking nerdy stuff. I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of this that well, but I, have heard about it. And actually, yesterday I was talking to somebody at the coffee shop at Taimana Cafe about this exact thing. And
this is what we talk about in California, man.
Exactly, and
especially Ocean Beach.
Yeah, and I don't know if anyone there was an expert on it, but she knew enough to kind of tell us about it. And we were talking about the benefits of walking barefoot and things like that. And I was like, I see a bunch of people come in and out of this coffee shop barefoot, walking around the neighborhood, and even mentioning it like oh yeah, one day a week or something. I try to go barefoot, and it's it's entered my consciousness that. And the discussion was basically we're so far from nature these days in our homes and the concrete and all these things that separate us from actually even touch. I mean, when you think about, without even the science or the, complexity, it's a simple concept of connecting with the earth physically. And so she actually mentioned too, the beach, jumping in the water has an immediate profound effect on your body, the ionization apparently. But everyone knows the awesome feeling of getting out of the ocean. You just feel better, right? And so there's obviously something to it.
Immediately, man. It's just like, sometimes in this crazy culture we get lost, and it's easy to forget the simple things, but you got to realize that these simple things are the things that keep us grounded, you know what I mean? Yeah, just like you have a generator, you have to put a pole, you have to pound a pole into the ground to keep it grounded. I used to do this with my last job in Arizona, so I know all about pounding this metal stake into the ground, into like concrete out there. But no, man, you got to stay grounded. I mean, you have a lot of electrical system in your body. I mean, we're electric beings, Sure. And the Earth has a magnetic pulse as well. So a lot of these things going on, and I'm not a scientist, but like it's very simple and natural to me, and that's how I try and live my life. Is what seems like the most common sense, what seems to me to be the most natural, and the things that are going to connect me and keep me closer to the Earth. Because I feel like in the long run, that's going to just make me a happier person, And on the flip side of that, I feel like the further you get away from that, the more you're in your car with rubber tires, and the more you got your shoes on, the rubber soles. I mean, you're not connected, and your feet have, that's why your feet sweat in the first place, is to make that lubrication, that connection to the earth, so that electrical signal can go through and allow your energy to drain back in the earth from where it came from. So, the last few years I've definitely been delving into this stuff a lot more, and just getting back to my roots, and just kind of I've been happier ever since, man. I used to be a little more chaotic in the mind, and like the more I just sit back and allow myself to sleep, to have some time at the beach, and dig my toes in the sand. I mean, it just it makes all the difference in the world, man. Like,
it's a beautiful thing, and I think San Diegans are very open to this sort of thinking, and it's natural and it makes sense. It's not anything crazy. So your fitness at the beach is just a natural way now for you to do this more often. Like I try to, I'm a happy obesian now. I basically walk around town to work and eat and play and all that stuff. I don't leave too often, but just living by the beach, even in California, a lot of people don't even make it out to the sand too often, right? Like, or even when I was like in LA, South Bay and stuff, a lot of people, it can be challenging. You can live like a mile away, and you never make that mile journey to be there at the edge of nature, where it's really so open, and where you can really connect in the sand and the water. So this fitness program you have, it really delights me to hear that you found a way to, for yourself and for others to keep a constant connection, a pattern of going out there and being connected to the earth, even if it just means your toes in the sand. And so the workout routine too, the way you're saying you do it with the music and the rotation, I really love that concept. I used to swim in high school and college, and our coach in high school, I forget what he called it, like a Iron Man of some sort. I forget what the phrasing was back then, but we would do something where we'd get out of the pool, where we had a whole circuit around the pool. It would be, I think it was like zigzag up the lanes, jump out, do some crunches, go over to the water slide or whatever that was there, go down that, then do a Baywatch run out of the the play
Before
pool.
you know it, you've had about 30 minutes of workout. You haven't even realized you're working out yet because you're having fun.
Right, exactly. I mean, it's a lot of things. It's mixing it up, and then you're working other parts of your body that you wouldn't normally be thinking about. And plus, like what you're saying with the music, I think actually there too. Back in the day, he would put on music or something on the stereo for it was a special sort of routine and practice we would do that was abnormal for just not just swimming laps anymore. So I think the routine you're working on out there sounds really enticing for people. What are people's reactions like that have joined or participated so far?
They love it, man. They love it. I mean, it's such a refreshing breath of air from going to the gym.
Being in the gym, even in the gym, there's plastic mats on the floor. For
and
the weights
the gym is
stuff,
great
right?
for certain things, but
fluorescent lights.
At the same time, I don't want to. A lot of people work inside. Some people even work sitting down in a cubicle.
Exactly.
And then they go to the gym, and you're going to get your natural endorphins working out naturally. I mean, if you can fit anything in, that's great. But if you can, why not go to the ocean and just, soak in some sun rays, get some great negative ions going in your body. And, it's a healing process naturally while you're working out. So you're tearing your body apart when you're working out, but you're also getting some of these natural healers that we have out there, in the water and just having your feet sunk into the sand. So it's great, man. They love it. We have, we fill up pillowcases with sand. So you pick your own weight.
Oh, nice.
We have sleds and stuff like that. You can pull in the sand, and I'll even bust out some seaweed sometimes and tie it together. And hey, can you pull this seaweed over here?
Yeah.
So it's really natural type thing. And
cool.
There's maybe a couple limitations. We don't have all the workout gear that you have at the gym, but on the flip side, there's a lot of other benefits you get from it too. So that's more the thing I would, rather be doing than sitting inside at a gym, working out.
Absolutely, man. I love to hear that you're doing that. Sounds like a great concept, and there's no one out there to tell you these are the rules or this is what you have to do. I mean, you've got the background where physiologically what's good, and anything that people can do to get out there and move around, move their bodies, and do a workout is great.
It's epic, man. Yeah, it's great. Dude.
Awesome. Glad to hear that. I didn't even know that you had that starting up. That's a beautiful little lifestyle business that everyone in San Diego can appreciate. So let's get back to your music, though. Or actually, let's dovetail into Ocean Beach a little bit. What's your we're sitting at your pad right now in PB, but what's your history in Ocean Beach?
Basically, I lived in OB for about 6 or 7 years when I first moved out here, and then had that internship at SDSU.
Okay.
I lived by SDSU for a minute, and then I moved to this weird little town I heard of from a buddy at a party. It was the first party I went to in Mission Beach. On this rooftop, there was this acoustic dude playing up there, and so I met a bunch of new people that night, and I was looking for a place to stay, and this guy's like, "Yeah, I got a place. It's right in Ocean Beach," and I'm like, "Oh, cool. How far is that?" He's like, about 15 minutes down there. I was like, "Oh, cool. I'll come check it out." And so I was still hunting for a place, and I came there the next day, and I just looked around, man, and I was like, all right, this spot's for me, because I saw these hippies doing hula hoops. I saw these guys playing guitar right by the beach, and it's got this big, long, beautiful pier. Got sunset cliffs. It's got live reggae music just about every night of the week. So naturally, I fell in love with Ocean Beach, man, as soon as I lived there, and then I made some really good friends. And ever since, just stuck, man. I've played at Winston's and Gallagher's countless amount of times.
Yeah, a lot of great music venues in Ocean Beach, actually.
Yeah, man.
And it's picking up at Mother's Saloon, too.
Yeah, Mother's Saloon coming in pretty big in the scene now, having some bigger bands come through there. And, it's great. They got the dog park right there. If you got dogs, you can bring them to the park. So, I mean, it's a good family type of town, but also... it's a good party scene as well. So it's a little bit of both. I've heard some locals say, it's about Ocean Beach is 7 miles in diameter, surrounded by reality.
Yeah.
So it's kind of how it is, man. OB's got a lot of like 40-year-old kids, and I'll probably be one of those pretty soon here. So.
Exactly.
Oh man, I love Ocean Beach. Man.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I've only been here about 3 years, but I'm trying to capture a lot of it's hard to put in words, and so I like to ask all of our guests, what exactly about OB it is that drew them there.
Yeah, if you're not from Ocean Beach, just think like Hayden Ashbury, like of the 70s in San Francisco, but a present day, type of thing. But it's also a good spot for families. At some point, I'd like to get a house on the hill up there, and maybe in like 20 years have a kid or something.
Yeah. Yeah,
not too soon.
Who knows?
Yeah, man.
All right, so let's get straight into the music. Tell us about where you're playing recently, what your strategy is, what you're working on, and the project with 432 Crew.
Yeah, man. 432 Crew is a brand new project of mine. I the last couple years I've been, jumping around from a couple bands that I played with. I played with Ease Up, played with Hyrie, Jam Quest, and last year I did a national tour with Hyrie and Tribal Seeds and Fortunate Youth. So that was a very cool experience.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
That was a pretty fun tour, man. Especially the first half was so much fun.
Yeah,
playing a lot of these big well-known places. The Gramercy Theater.
Okay.
In New York, playing the Bottom Lounge in Chicago, and some of these places were just so much fun, man. And being around some of these bands that have a lot of notches in their belt, like Fortunate Youth. One of my favorite bands for a long time. It was an honor to be able to play with them, open up for them, and Tribal Seeds as well, being San Diego boys from Chula Vista. They're getting more and more popular all the time. They tour aggressively, so it was very cool experience, man. And now I don't play with any other bands other than Bad Neighbors right now is my one side project, but my main heart and focus is going to 432 Crew. That's my original music, and I'm just starting up an arsenal of people and supporters that can help this thing get off the ground. 432. Let me just explain real quick what that even means.
Yeah,
because
please.
People probably just
I called it 432, but it's 432.
It's whatever you want to call it, I guess. But I call it 432 Crew. 432 refers to a wavelength. It's 432 hertz, which is a natural vibration on the Earth, and it's a healing frequency. So a lot of these standard tuners these days are tuned to 440 hertz, which is a controversial thing.
I've heard about this too.
And if you actually look it up online, check it out online. Go on YouTube and check out 440 hertz versus 432 hertz, and watch the difference in what the wavelength does to water and sand when they run the vibration through it. It's unbelievable, man. 432 hertz, it creates these beautiful pictures in sand and water. At 440, it creates these distorted, weird-looking, non-symmetrical shapes and stuff. And when you think about it, our body is about 75% water or something like that. So I mean, we're mostly water. So when you think about it, having that vibration go through your body is just going to heal you naturally, and it's going to make the water in your body make those beautiful shapes, and it's going to transcend to your mind as well. So that's where the 432 comes from, and I'm just trying to create a crew, an arsenal of people that can help spread these good vibrations and just be real with it, and not trying to hide too much or trying to make it in music in any other way. And any other incentive rather than just like helping people out and hopefully make a positive ripple in the world in a real way where we don't have to be trying to sell ourselves in any fake way.
Yeah, so. No, it's beautiful intentions. That's exactly what my sort of aspirations are even for this podcast. Just to not looking to make money off of it, just to connect with awesome locals and put something positive out there that no one can tell us. What to do or to make us sell out or anything like that.
And I hope it shows through the music too, because there's a lot of bands that just put out this watered down, overproduced stuff.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, so back to the 440 thing. I mean, I've heard that. I mean, most of the music industry since like a certain time, and was it like Pythagoras or someone back in the day figured out the 432 thing?
432 was known by some of the ancients, man. Right. The ancient Chinese cultures, even like some of the leaders in China made sure that they went to each sect in the country and made sure that each little group had their instruments tuned to 432 because they knew even back then that it can create divisiveness. If people are listening to this chaotic music in your mind, and it's not chaotic music, but because it's so subtle, you can barely even notice the difference. So when you think about it, when the first instruments were tuned to 432, when the first violin was tuned to 432, at some point somebody had to change it for some reason.
Yeah, exactly.
And to me,
and they picked 432, like you're saying, it was a holy number, but it was picked because of its natural. The Earth's resonance and the ratios that just made sense.
The sacred ratios.
And so the other thing I heard was like Mozart and some of those guys were all in 432.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, and obviously those guys are really well thought of in music for, you know, not just the music itself, but the sort of mathematics behind it or the, you know, the patterns and that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah. And just listen to their stuff, man. It's so soothing and it's just like...
It makes sense why... it would resonate so well with people and be so natural and you know, something that you can't, you know, argue with really, right?
Yeah, and I mean, you know, I try and stay away from the whole like political, you know, you know, what do you call it, conspiracy, if you will, but I hate that word because it's just been like demonized just to say it. It's conspiracy. Right. But like, no, I mean, at some point somebody had to change it to 440. I don't know who it was, but it makes sense to me that they might have been trying to control people by creating a little more chaos within their culture and society so they have more control. I don't know what the truth is, but it just makes it seems like that makes sense to me that someone might be able to do that. I mean, just look at the lengths these politicians go now to control people. So what, I mean, why not change it to a different, you know, vibration that might make people's minds be a little more chaotic and in turn have them be a little more subservient.
Sure. So you got your by choice choosing to do 432. As a layman, a question here is: how difficult is it for you or for anybody to tune their instruments back from the sort of you know? I mean, we live in a world where everything is so standardized, and you know, you just follow suit and you know, do the same thing as everyone else. So, what does it mean to change your guitar from 440 to 432?
It's very, very simple. You just need a tuner that is sensitive enough to pick it up, and most are. But what's crazy is like I have a Boss pedal, and it allows you to change the tuner from like 445 or something to 436. It doesn't even allow you to go down to 432. I'm just like, what is going on here? So, but I mean, if you have a computer or you know, just a decent tuner, you can get it done. Very simple. It's just a little bit lower. It's very subtle, but in my mind, it makes all the difference in the world. And you can see that on the video demonstrations that they have online and stuff. So God bless YouTube. God bless the internet, man. I don't know what I'd do without it.
Yeah, you know, I'm glad you mentioned that too, because I've you know, been raised on. I've just always been thirsty for knowledge, and in the past few years, particularly, finding the wealth of knowledge on YouTube has really blown my mind. Just stuff that that we're not going to bring up in college or school.
My world, man.
And seeing, you know, the thing, you know, running into things like 432 versus 440. So we'll try to find one of those de facto videos that explains it and put it in the show notes and the links for everyone who wants to visit the blog post for this. So it's really awesome to hear the motivation behind that. So, and even more than this specific 432 hertz, it speaks to your motivation for what you're doing. You want to put out good vibrations.
Yeah, exactly. And but like also real vibrations. You know, some people say, oh, they walk around saying good vibes and have this like plastic smile on their face, and you can see right through them. But you know, it's like, be real. You know, don't tell me about your religion. Don't like tell me about, you know, how good of a person you are and what you've done. Just like show me. You know, don't post about how many good things you've done and like, you know, if that's all good as long as you've already shown me, you know, what you're all about. You know, if I see you give money to a bum, or help out somebody who's less fortunate, or just spend time on people who can't help you. You know what I mean? Those little things go a long way, dude. And it's just like that's real. You know what I mean? If there's no one else around you and you have the opportunity to help somebody who can't help you at all, that says a lot about you. And that's the way I try and live too. Because it's like a lot of people will only do something, for charity if there's a lot of cameras around and stuff. And that's something that it takes a lot of character to get to that point, I think, when no one's going to find out about this good thing that you did for somebody. You don't have to do it. It's going to take up some of your time, but you still do it, So that's the type of stuff that I'm about, not just talking about being good or having these positive vibes, It's just like, be real, do it, don't talk about it.
Actually live it.
Yeah, sure. Exactly.
Okay. So, and you're talking about the promotion, or not the promotion, but the way you're growing this effort. How's that going? It sounds like you're connecting with people locally. Yeah. You're not doing any superficial promotions. You're just trying to build up steam from people who resonate or agree with your music and what you're putting out there. So how's that going? What kind of venues are you hitting up? How's the local scene responding to that?
Yeah, I mean, to tell you the truth, it's so new. I'm working on this new single right now for 432 Crew, and I'm also working on a new music video.
Okay, great.
So these are things that are going to drop, probably in, I think, by mid-November. I think the single and the music video should come out, and at which point I'm going to start booking a lot more gigs. But already, I've met a lot of good people along the way from touring West Coast and recently the national tour. People in South Carolina, people in New York are hitting me up online, through the Facebook and Connectron, and just really trying to connect and see what's up and see what's good with me. And everyone's kind of wondering when this single and music video is going to come out, because I haven't really put anything out there of my original stuff yet. So that's what makes this single and eventually this album that I'm going to drop so important to me, and hopefully it's going to be important to other people too, because there's about 10 years of music on there that I haven't put out yet. So I mean, it's 10 years in the making. Some songs I've even been working on lyrics for about 15 years that I haven't dropped anything. So the lyrics are very meaningful to me. It's stuff that I've been going through in my life, and just trying to tell it like it is, and trying to put a pretty wrapper around it, and hopefully it makes people feel really good listening to it, and in one way or another, hopefully it creates a positive change in the world.
Absolutely. No, we're looking forward to it. It sounds awesome. Obviously, if you've put that much of your time and effort, and you obviously have are really close to this album. We're really can't wait to hear that. So we'll definitely put the link in the blog post as well for that once you launch it. I know it can be challenging as an artist to how do you call it? Put the final touches on it and actually release it, right?
Never done.
Well, that's the thing, because once you release something like this, it is done, right? I mean, you can go back and you can redo the song for the next album or whatever. But how difficult is it to be finally happy with something you've been working on that long and publish it?
Man, it's one of the hardest things ever. I think any musician will tell you that too. At some point, you just gotta put in enough work that you're just so sick of looking at it.
Sure.
And that's what I've been doing for the last 10 years. So a lot of these songs that I've kind of never finished, I kind of revisited them this year. And now I was able to have like a new, fresh look at them. And I feel like I'm a better songwriter and better at writing lyrics than I used to be. So it was cool. I think it's almost a blessing in disguise that I didn't drop my album like 6 years ago or something, because I feel like it's going to be way better now. But at the same time, there's a point in the song when it just feels right, and you're like, you could make little minor adjustments still, but you don't want to overproduce it. And when you get to that point, it's just best to just, say, okay, this is it, and I'm going to move on to the next thing, because otherwise your mind will just go crazy trying to, do these little technical things with the song, and it's just going to mess you up. So.
Oh, for sure. All right. A question: how do you, with your songwriting, how much time, or how's it different between spending time alone in the garage writing the stuff versus you spend a lot of time out playing open mic night, or tell us about performing. Like, how much does the performing live help you tweak the songs and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it does help. You know, there's something about, you know, just living in general, you know, if you spend too much time by yourself, you know, you start to get a little weird, and like you have nothing to bounce your ideas off of. So it's a very, it's a crazy thing, man, because I like to write by myself for sure. All my writing I do by myself, so I can really get, you know, intricate with it and break it down and like the lyrically, you know, bounce words off of each other and just get really intimate and technical with it and intricate with it, which is something you can't really do if you're writing with somebody else, or, you know, it's, at least for me, it's hard to get very like intricate with things when you're with somebody else, because you're talking and it's like you gotta just jam the song out, and you know they get angry at me for stopping every 2 seconds. They're like, no, let's just keep going. But so that's why I write better by myself. But at the same time, you know, I've also, when I finish a song or when I think it's mostly done, I'll go bounce my ideas off somebody I truly respect.
Okay.
And then they give me so many good ideas, you know, out of somewhere where I would have never came up with on my own. And so at that point, at that point, I take those ideas and I'm like, man, those are really good ideas, you know, and people that have also been doing music for a long time, and I respect them a lot. So those things mean a lot to me. But also, you know, at that point, I'll take it to like open mic night or something. You know, I've been doing these open mics at PB Cantina. Okay. Have some friends there that, you know, I used to actually play music with the guy running PB Cantina there and at the open mic, and Crystal Dyer, she's a great artist. She does live art there. And so I'll kind of test my songs and see if they survive the live setting, you know. And once you play a song at a bunch of different venues and it kind of bombs, you know, it goes really bad, then you might want to start thinking about, you know, maybe making a song that does better in a live setting. So you kind of put it to the live test, and if it does well, then cool, you know, you got a song that might be something there, you know, that people can respond to. But if not, no matter how much you love it, I have songs that I love and everyone else hates. Okay. But I would have never really known that unless I tested it live. But
interesting. You know. What's that feeling like as an artist? The stress and the passion and the feelings of being on stage, putting yourself out there in front of other people, and like testing. I mean, it's your baby, your child. The song you've written. You've got, you know, you either think it's awesome or it's okay, or, you know, you've definitely got, you know, feelings about it, and you kind of have to put it out there in front of a bunch of, you know, drunks or whatever it is. What's that feel like? Is it stressful, or is it a rush of adrenaline, or you obviously are getting feedback from it and useful, you know, information, but
you just gotta remind yourself, like, who your audience is. You know, it's like if people are just getting wasted at the bar, you know, they're probably not gonna want to listen to, you know, some slower song that you have. Where if it were in a different setting, if I went to a yoga retreat or something and I tried it out there, they might, you know, they just love it. Right. So you gotta remind yourself who's listening, what your audience is. Yeah. But no, man, I mean, most musicians will be like, oh yeah, I don't care. But, you know, I think deep down, you know, it's your baby. This is what you've been working on. People want to be accepted, and they want people to like their music naturally. But I think as you grow as a musician too, you kind of, that matters less to you, you know, and you just kind of do your thing, and kind of open up your eyes after you get done playing it, and, you know, hopefully people are cheering. If not, you pretend like you don't care, and you try and just brush it off, and, you know, get back in the office, you know, back at the command station, and get back to work on it. But you can't judge based off of that. You know, that's what I realized. It ruined a lot of my live performances, kind of opening my eyes. And because when I sing, I close my eyes a lot. So I just try and, like, look down in my soul to get that, dig deep, you know, to get that passion come out through the vocals. But when I do open my eyes, you know, sometimes I look up and there's like 2 people out there. I'm just like, oh my God, really? Yeah. All right, cool. Well, there's 3 people before I started playing, so now there's 2. So, and, you know, it kind of, it chips away at you sometimes, you know.
Yeah, it's got to be challenging for the ego, but obviously, like you said, if you know where you are and what you're trying to accomplish.
If you believe in yourself, man, I mean, that's all you need. And I do believe in myself, you know, because who else is going to believe in me if I don't, you know what I mean? So, it's no matter how much you say it doesn't affect you. You know, you want to be on a big stage where everyone's cheering at you. You know, that's you know, I've had the opportunity, and you know, I've been blessed enough to have that experience with playing in front of 500,000, 2,000 people. And man, it's such a great feeling. You know, I can't deny it, bro. Like it gives me a lot of good energy, and I feel like it makes my performance better having other people out there in the crowd. I think any musician will tell you that. But it's crazy. It really is a two-way street, man. It's like if people, even if there's 4 people at the bar though, or 4 people at the venue, and their energy's great, and they're giving me feedback, and like, woo, just a little woo. You know, that makes me feel so much better about what I'm doing, and just like it makes my music better, and it really gets the best out of me. So, yeah, man. Very
cool. So, any other local places around San Diego that you've been playing a lot, or you're playing soon, or anything you want to talk about?
I mean, I'm going to have my single release party and music video release party at Gallagher's in Ocean Beach.
Oh, great.
At the end of November, most likely, maybe early December. I'm still working it out with them.
Okay.
Just because my music video has been delayed a couple weeks due to conflicts of schedules, but yeah, so check out Gallagher's. Look out for us there. Look out for us at 710 Beach Club in PV, and Winston's in Ocean Beach. Those will probably be the 3 places I'm going to start playing, and then hopefully move on up to bigger venues once we get the ball rolling. Belly Up, House of Blues, and things of that nature. Coach House in San Juan Capistrano. And then Cricket Amphitheater after that.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
yeah. No, I'm sure everything will. Your focus will change once you launch this album. Yeah. Once you drop it, people, you'll start playing more, and promoting it.
Yeah, that's my main goal. It's just to be busy and playing music all the time and playing good shows with a lot of good people there. So that's all I really want. I don't want to get rich doing it. I just want to be able to hopefully do it every day and somehow pay the bills, and I'll be happy.
Sure. Okay, how about your music video? Anything you want to tell us about how that's going? How the filming? Is it all in the can? Did you finish the filming? Or?
No, it's not a wrap yet. We got. I have a few videographers help me out. They're actually students from SDSU.
Great.
And they're actually a really good crew. So. But their heart's in it, so I actually had a really low budget to make this all happen. I'm doing everything out on my own, so they're very cool. They really they're on board with what I'm trying to do, and we've had about 3 or 4 days of shooting. We have some beautiful sunset footage already, just some local stuff. We shot at the farmers market in Ocean Beach. Got some local people involved in that. I have a bunch of different bands that are going to be featured in the music video. A lot of bands you know of: Arise Roots, Seedless. I'm hoping to get a Tribal Seeds member in the video, and also just some local faces that you probably know too. Some people that you've seen in the Slightly Stupid music videos, and yeah, man, some other local bands. Probably Crucial Blend will be in that. Bad Neighbors will make an appearance. We're doing a house party scene at my buddy Jay's from Bad Neighbors, and that's Bad Neighbors with a Z at the end.
Right.
So you can check them out. Okay. But it's a little pool party scene, Not to be. We're gonna put a comical twist on it, so it's not just typical, just party scene at the pool or whatever.
Around here,
girls are invited. I'm not saying we can't have a lot of beautiful women there, but which I plan to. But we're about to finish it up in a week or two. So
okay, excellent. Yeah, we're looking forward to that, and we'll definitely throw that on the website as well. Everyone in the neighborhood loves to see their neighborhood in the music video, accompanied to great music.
Yeah,
of course. I think it was there's one of the Slightly Stupid videos, Open Road, or one of them that is.
Well, there's a Slightly Stupid song called
Ocean Beach.
Don't Stop.
Don't Stop. That's the one. There's a music video. So again, I'm going to ask about the sort of the style of the video, but that one, they literally just kind of. Show different scenes around Ocean Beach because it's so beautiful, and there's so many photographic places, the pier sign, and just everything around the sand. But you're doing something a little bit different than just showing off the scenery, or the rap videos where it's a bunch of big-titted blondes, bouncing around in the pool. What's your artistic take on it?
Man, yeah, kind of the same thing. I'm just kind of allowing the natural beauty of San Diego kind of just to to shoot the video itself. You know what I mean? I did a couple shots at the top of Mount Soledad up here in PB. Some beautiful shots. You know, I was, kicking the soccer ball around up there, and
nice. Incorporate that too.
Yeah, I'm trying to incorporate everything I love to do, man. Soccer, playing music with friends. You know, all the good people I've met. I'm into some of this Brazilian stuff like jiu-jitsu and capoeira. I'm trying to get some capoeira guys in the video. My old master, he might bring a couple people out and get some shots doing capoeira, which is really cool, like dance martial art if you're not familiar with it.
Yeah, actually I think, I can't repronounce what you just said, but I think our second guest of the show, Pete Dolan, I think also was a student of that.
That sounds familiar. I might know him.
Yeah, you guys probably do. I'll connect you guys. I think it was after we cut recording, he was telling me about that. So it may not have been on the podcast, but he definitely had a passion for that as well.
Yeah, it's great, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's something special about it, right?
Yeah, it's great. It's just
the art.
Yeah, capoeira. I mean, it's just I fell in love with it just because. First of all, the master, I didn't even know he was a master. I was playing music with him at my buddy's house. And
what's his name?
Randall, or Handal.
Okay.
Yeah, Randall he used to have his own place up in PB, but now he's just doing it for the love of it. His dad was a capoeira master as well, so he was teaching me for a little while, and it was just a lot of fun. It's a good family thing, women are in there, children are in there learning this thing, and it's basically just a dance that you do, and you got your jinga, which is just your flow, basically. And from there, they teach you a lot of, it involves a lot of kicks and spins, and it's a lot of body. You support your own body weight. It's some of the stuff's closer to the ground. It looks like breakdancing almost. And other stuff, guys are doing, double flips in the air. It's just a real test for your whole physical realm and your mental realm too. It also brings a lot of people together. And it started in Brazil. Mainly started in Brazil as a forum for the slaves to practice the martial arts without being seen by the slave drivers. So they had to cover up their martial arts because it was illegal. It was illegal in Brazil to practice capoeira, especially as a slave. So they had to practice martial arts. Sorry, as a slave. So they had to find a way to cover it up, and then from there it just kind of evolved into this thing. Once it became legal in Brazil, it just blew up from there, obviously, and it's just a great way to, lively up yourself, and just like soccer, just get that energy out in a positive way and bring people together, and also learn a way to protect yourself in the process. So.
It's all good stuff. It's amazing how some of these incredibly creative things come out of limitations. Yeah. Right. Even I think it was some of the jazz, or the blues stuff we were talking about with Keith on episode 1. He was saying that the drobos, he kind of came out of like pans, and these like crazy. You think some of the first ones really made on the at home. And
whatever they had,
people realize, this is actually cool. And they start producing it and making it a real thing.
Absolutely, bro. And like these slaves, they did anything they could to make these instruments, so it involves a lot of music too, which I love. That got me attracted too. There's always a drum there, and a stringed instrument that
of course to accompany the dancing.
Exactly. So they keep the rhythm going, and it keeps the faster the rhythm, basically, the more intense your capoeira movements are going to be. So. Very cool thing, man. I'd check it out if you have the time. Yeah, we'll try to throw a link to that as well in the post. So, man, this is we're really excited now to see this music video. Yeah, it sounds like it's going to have a lot of artistic, influences and people from the community doing all sorts of different stuff and supporting you. And the song's great too, man. I recorded with Wiley. His project is called, or his recording studio is called Thumpadelic. Okay. Wiley is the old engineer for Tribal Seeds, so it's been a blessing to work with him. And the song's great too. So yeah, I'm stoked for the music video. It's going to have a ton of stuff from Ocean Beach in there. If you're local, you really like it, and even if not, your jaw's going to drop. Just how beautiful the scenery is in this music video that's going to be coming out. So sounds great, man. I listen to a lot of my music. I don't use Pandora much these days. I use a lot of YouTube. Will you be putting it up online for people to get to, or how's it going to be? I'm just going to release it on everywhere I can. Great. It's going to be everywhere once it's released: YouTube, Facebook, and hopefully I can get some local support, try and help people, or try and have people help me get it out there, send it out with whatever avenues we can, man.
Exactly.
Get it out there. So.
Great. Yeah, we're looking forward to dropping that YouTube video on the website as well. I looked at your YouTube channel, and you've got some other stuff up there as well, and so it'll be a nice addition, and we'll definitely put a link to your YouTube channel that everyone should take a look at. And subscribe, even if the music video is not out yet, everyone listening can go subscribe to your YouTube channel, and they'll get it when it comes out for the release, which will be a nice surprise here in a little bit, in a few weeks. Really exciting. So, and how will the timing of that be with the album for people?
The album's going to come out probably by the end of January. Should be finished with it. It's a tentative date right now, but so... After the single, I plan to have about 2 months in the studio, really taking my time recording the album. So it's top notch. Hopefully, the final production. So.
Beautiful. And so you said you're doing it yourself. You're not going to go out to a big label or whatever. How are you going about this for people that are trying to do stuff themselves, produce music themselves?
You just don't get overzealous or whatever the word is. Don't be a prima donna too soon. Just let your music do the talking, and just do the best you can with your social media. Kind of just promote, and plug whenever you can, and mainly just work on yourself. That speaks volumes, and that'll get a lot of people to listen to your music just based off the person that you are and your character. So, spend as much time, correcting, imbalances within yourself and in your own mind, because it's just going to shine through your music in the long run. It's going to improve your music, and spend a lot of time writing, spend a lot of time working on your stuff, because I've spent 100,000 hours, I don't even know how many, just working and grinding stuff out, and just creating my own style. So it's not easy, man. It's, if you're not 100% in it, then it's going to be tough to compete with everyone else who's really putting in the work to improve. So I don't know if you asked something else.
Yeah, no, it's really good advice for people. To the challenges of publishing and getting it out there. But like you said, it's going to be rewarding. Hopefully, at the end, you put all this work in, you're going to own it, and it'll be a reflection of all this work that you put into it, all this time and energy and all the relationships that you've built around it and everything. So
I have faith that something good is going to happen because of this. Hopefully have some really new epic journeys happen because of this. And I don't really have anything planned as far as getting signed or labels or anything yet, but I just have faith that something positive is going to happen because of it. So I haven't really put too much thought into any of that stuff. That's a little down the road.
Yeah.
I just want to get this music video and single out and have people see what I can do a little bit, and also just keep posting videos on my Instagram and Facebook and stuff, just little videos of little songs I write and little talents I have, so people can actually look me up and find me. And if you don't have anything out there, then nobody's gonna be able to find you. So I went through that phase too. I'm like, it's kind of like the Mr. Rogers Neighborhood episode I saw when I was like 10. Man, if you don't send mail, you're not gonna get mail. You know what I mean? So you have to be able to put your stuff out there in a way that people are gonna be able to find you, look you up, and it's super easy now. Like we were talking before, the internet. I mean, as long as you do it the right way. I'm still learning about these hashtags and stuff, man. I'm a little behind the...
Yeah, there's a bunch of silly games you have to play on these different networks.
It helps,
but it's really great to hear that you're getting yourself out there. You're holding the guitar and starting to strum it. I'm just about to ask you to play something for us. We really appreciate your time and chatting with you. Unless there's anything else that you want to discuss or plug, I think we're all looking forward to buying this album, seeing the music video, listening to you down at the bar or wherever you might be playing. Hopefully you post all those events on your social media. People can find you on YouTube. We'll post that link. Facebook. Where else? Just there for now.
That's it.
And then you'll have a website once the album launches, I'm sure.
Yeah. My name is Greg11 on Instagram.
Okay.
That's like reggae, but with a G at the beginning. Greg11. So if you want to look me up that way, I put a lot of little funny little videos up there and a lot of pictures and stuff. And yeah, Facebook, you can get me. We're having the new 432 page coming out soon. Yeah, get the ball rolling pretty soon here. And yeah, I'm just stoked for everything. So thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Yeah. And it's been a pleasure and honor to, represent the Ocean Beach scene. And
yeah, it's our pleasure to have you on the show. It's another wonderful story that I think everyone will enjoy. Cool. Give people motivation to follow their passions, do what they love to do, and challenge themselves to put themselves out there, because it's, especially with art and everything, it's difficult to take that leap, to expose yourself. But we love what you're doing, and we'd love to hear a song.
Cool, bro. All right, well, I'm not going to play Heaven on Earth is the name of the new single and music video, so I'm going to allow you guys to check that out when the video comes out. So I'm going to play you another song. It's called Bad Habits. It's just about just doing anything too excessively, which is easy to do, especially in Ocean Beach. A lot of temptation in San Diego.
Oh, yeah.
But that's what it's about. It's been some time since we made time to spend some time to forget ourselves for a while. Oh, and I heard it through the grapevine, just looking for a good time. It was one time to live it up, one time. You're dragging me down just like gravity, bound. I'm attached to you just like a bad tattoo. When I heard it through the grapevine, you're looking for a good time. One more time to live it up. One more time. One more time to live it up. Just one more time. I shouldn't be here right now. This isn't happening. Shouldn't feel the way I do. Should've stayed home all night. Why fight it? Don't lie to yourself. One time, yeah, we all got a reason. But you're lying. You said it before. I swear I'm trying. We all got a weakness, don't we? Bad habits on it again. I can feel my soul slipping slow, all directions. I should have paid more attention to these life lessons that come and pass me by. I swear this is the last time. Just gotta get someone off my mind. Oh, I tried to give you up last time. I shouldn't be here right now. This isn't happening. I shouldn't feel the way I do. Should've stayed home. All night. Why fight it? Don't lie to yourself. One time, yeah, we all got a reason. But I'm lying. I said this so many times before. I'm trying. We all got a reasons, don't we? Bad habits on at it again. Ah, yeah.
to add it